Rising, Elizabeth. Thank you for joining us this morning. At 9 a.m., we will close our social media and continue on Zoom only. Join us by getting your Zoom link at elizabethvisionaryconference.org. We'll be there until 10 a.m. You can join us now, and we'll see you in the Elizabeth Zoom room. Today, your hosts are Mama Ayaba Bay and Mama Awa Asaseya. Enjoy.
Grand Rising world, Grand
Grand
Rising
Rising.
Elizabeth. Happy Love Day.
Yeah, it's a good day for love.
Good day for love. Who said that? Queen Aduni, the lover of everything. Everything good.
Everything's good.
Anahata.
Everything's good.
Anahata.
The Anahata, the heart chakra.
Anahata.
Anahata, the heart chakra. What does the heart do? What's the heart chakra all about?
Number
ready,
one.
You ready
Number
to jump
one,
in the ring?
the heart. That's right. That's right. Y'all feel free to jump in. What does that heart chakra do? That heart chakra, number one, from my perspective, is a muscle. It is the size of your fist that pumps. And it never rests. Out of everything in the body, it never rests. That heart beats continuously.
Thank God.
But just to let you know, it don't rest. It keep them moving. That's why we got to keep them moving to keep it moving.
Do you mean we should do exercises and keep ourselves pumped up? Is that what you mean, or go to sleep all day?
I think the body be talking to you and you just don't listen. It be keeping it moving. Whether you call yourself, I don't even like to use the word exercise, because my experience of exercise is, yes, it's a constant movement, but it's how you move with it. I've been to many yoga practices where they're moving. No, that don't work. You got to feel. You got to move to feel. So yes, it is. For those that want to say exercise, it's an exercise. It's a way of life. Moving is just as important as breathing.
Well, I also may I share something here?
Always.
Because we have to ask you all some questions too about any experiences you may want to share later on regarding working with your own chakras. That was part of our assignment last week. And working with the chakra basically was working through your mind, through your thoughts. Each chakra vibrates or spins at a particular, which means more like specific frequency that impacts certain biological processes or organs in the body. And if you all could get a picture in your experiences of the spine, the spinal column, for example, you'll get a picture of what you look like, at least from the physical standpoint, from your low back all the way up to your brain. It's this is an amazing machine, as y'all always heard me say. The circulation of energy is all about the energy. And when your those chakras, it says here, the circulation of energy in each of our chakras then influences our physical as well as our mental well-being by way of stimulation or inhibition. Remember what we spoke about the root chakra and how if it's damaged in any way, it can affect your trust. When you're thinking your trust has something to do with your emotions. But what has happened is that the emotions have been influenced by the damage or the inhibition of your root chakra, whose color is red. If you go into business, you want to definitely have some red, either under your clothes or hanging on the wall or on your wrist to pump up that fire energy inside of you.
Mm.
And speaking of the fire energy, we'll go right on up the road. And what's next after the root chakra, Mama Hawa?
It's the sacral chakra, the orange chakra, the chakra of I feel.
Does it have, go ahead, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
And I was just gonna say, it has something also to do with the way we express our feelings, you know, our love, our sexual energy, they call sexual energy, our spiritual energy of Kundalini force that helps to bring us back into this world, which some people call rebirthing or reincarnation. At some point, I want to offer you all the opportunity to have an incarnation objective consultation, consultation or reading, some people call it. Our teacher always say that's talking or meeting with God. We don't realize how much we depend less on God and more on our own minds. There's a phrase we always use, I got to figure it out. You don't have to figure it out because you have to figure it in.
That's right, drawing it into you.
Yeah, you go inside, and one of the methods is using divination tools.
Yes, yes.
Notice divination comes from the word divine. So how evil can it be? So this here system, a world we live in, unbeknownst to us, we've been forced away from our God center, not towards it. Every tool that we could possibly use to help us understand what this God center business is, the European people, the ones who went through calling the Crusades and taking swords and killing people if they didn't submit, the Spanish Inquisition people who would put people's bodies on a machine or a device that they created and roll them this way and then put the bottom part on their legs and roll it the opposite way until the people screamed in pain. These are not devices that you would use to bring people to God. Not in my world. The device that we use to bring people to God come right out of the bam, the Anahata chakra. It's love. Anyway, how did I get on that?
You know what? Thinking about the word divine, the word vine is in there. And what does a vine do? A vine spirals and wraps itself around, and a vine always goes up.
It goes up, it goes out. Thinking about watermelons and what them other things, squashes and cantaloupes. If we look at life, we look at how nature or the neteru manifest themselves, then we will have answers to ourselves. People who are farmers, people who grew up on farms, the older people who are farmers, they can tell you about life because they see life and how it works every day.
In their garden.
In their garden. And start looking at your garden, not from what you're going to reap from it, but what it can teach you. The book of life is within you. The word of God is stamped on every cell in your body. How do I know? When I studied Hebrew, one of the first things that we were taught was that God's name is stamped on every cell in your body. And then 50 years later, they tell us about DNA. Isn't it funny how we can accept that faster than we can accept that God's name is stamped on every cell in our body? Think about it. We think that we are. A sister was talking to me last night. She said, well, I thought so-and-so was conscious. I said, well, what is conscious? Well, conscious is like a person really knows what's going on, what's happening. I said, who is that? You see, we throw these words around loosely without knowing, oh God, here I go again, without knowing what we're actually saying. You know what I'm saying? So when we look at the stamp of God's or God's name stamped on every cell, and we can't accept that because most people would say, or some people would say, well, how you gonna know that? How you know that? Can you see that? But when the science world comes along and say everybody's DNA, everybody got DNA. Nobody even know what DNA stands for. Do you know that? Howard, what's the word DNA stand for? Do you know? A long bunch of letters.
It is. It is. And they said the scientists, well, how do the scientists know? You know?
Yeah. I've had in my school, when I was in school, scientists would come and speak. We had one come and talk about something they call the string theory. And they would tell you from the jump street they can't see it, but they know it's there because they can measure
But they know it's there.
They know it's there because they can measure it by its vibrations, by its energy. Yet they don't come back and teach people that we are the string theory through your ancestors, the indigenous people. The indigenous people of this world already know that. That's why they keep the shrines to their ancestors. Our relationship to the ancestors is the boo-hoo, cry, scream. My grandma used to always say the one that screamed the loudest at the funeral is the one that got to do more work. The one that feel like they haven't done enough for the ones that have left. But anyway, so the string theory means that everything's connected to everything. We look at my mom, but my mom, when I look at my mom, I'm looking at her mom. And when I look at her mom, I'm looking at her mom and her dad all the way down the line.
Yeah.
So that's the connection. We already know about the string theory, as they call it. Let me share this with you because it's so much. I got so much to cover in so little time. In the myth of Osir, now Osir is what the Greeks call, I don't even know no more. What is it? Isis and Osiris. They call Osir Osiris. They change the names of everything, including our names. We don't even know who or what we are. But we know, but we just don't remember. Osir and Osir came together in a spiritual way because he was dead. Osir was dead when Osir put him back together. So what's the role of the woman? To help keep the man together. You live in a world that puts the man all up in the front, like he up here by himself. His whole life is to carry the load of your relationship, carry the load of the marriage, carry the load of the family. That's his job. Well, that's his job. What the heck is yours? Just to have babies? Just to make love to him? Cook? So? No. Osset put that man back together after his brother had ripped him apart and cut him up and threw him in four corners of the world. Some say giving birth to the signs of the zodiac. However, she went around the world and got all those parts and put them back together. Now, which chakra was that she was working from? She was working from every last one of them, from the root to the, they said from the root to the
Rooter, tutor.
Rooter to the tutor. She was working from all of them.
Yeah.
So your divine self, from this day forward, Elizabeth, you're gonna give birth your divine self. Have no fear. The birth of the divine self is here. And you turned me on, reminded me to go back to, oh God, what's her name? Mumby.
Oh, Dr. Mumby?
Yeah, Mumby, Dr. Mumby.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she's just so matter of fact and real about it. She doesn't stumble nor fall. She doesn't put well, if or maybe or could or should. She comes straight at it, what it is. Yeah. And you feel like she's talking directly to you because those are the same experiences that you've had. So And speaking about Osir and Oset, keep that in mind, that these are within ourselves in the form of our chakras. Oset reconfigured Osir, and the penis was not there. So she knew about this magical tree, and she went to that tree and shaped and formed a penis and attached it to him magically, spiritually. And the spirit of Osir spoke through her. If you look at the picture, you'll see a little bird hovering over her ear. That bird represents the spirit of Osir. So when we think of giving birth, everybody want to focus on the fact that the penis wasn't there and she had to make another penis. But what that means, she had to stimulate his pineal gland. She had to stimulate his ability to communicate spiritually. That's what the bird symbolizes. The bird also symbolizes wisdom. Wisdom comes under the energy of Tehuti, who the Greeks changed his name. I don't even remember the Greek name. To Thoth, Thoth. But Tehuti protected Osset during her pregnancy. He healed the eye of her son Heru. When Heru was born, and Heru found out that Set, later on in life, he found out that his uncle Set had killed his father. He was ready to go after his father. That's our fire energy. Heru is our fire energy. It's two things. It's Heru the blind and Heru the seer. And when our emotions, when the fire of the root chakra sets in and lights up our hearts, then we go for the drive. We go for the kill. We go for the gusto. We're not even thinking about whether we're being rational or not. So what's the element within to lean you towards rationality? It's called Tehuti, the center of wisdom, which you will find in your crown chakra. So that energy speaks to you and tell you, slow down, breathe. All these techniques that you're learning or have learned during your lifetime, that's when you call on them, when Heru gets rowdy. So Tehuti spoke to Heru and told him, man, you got to cool out. But how did he get to Heru? And how did he get to Tehuti? His mothers sent him there. And what do mothers do when the children get crazy? You better calm down. Or you pull them to you and say, okay, everything gonna be all right. Take it easy. See, we're not, when we learn to connect to this knowledge, then we'll be more open to being who it is we are and why we came here. So Tehuti is a advocate of Heru. It's shown on the temple walls with him in the ritual of pouring ankhs. Ankhs are the symbols of life over the monarch between them. So from the patron, people born during this period, during the period of Tehuti, they show a remarkable capacity for analysis. They have direct mental communication that lead to light bulb moments. Oftentimes a razor sharp truth that cuts through a fog. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there because it sounds like I'm talking about myself. So I just wanted to give you all a little taste of it. You know, I don't want to focus on that. We have plenty of time to come back and focus on that. But this energy goes through your chakras aren't isolated. So when I asked you all, when we asked you all last week to meditate through your chakra system, we want to know if you had any positive experiences with that. For example, if you're feeling doubtful about something, did you think about, or did you think through your root chakra and your, I can't never say the word. Say it again. The yellow, the orange one.
Oh,
I don't know why I want to call that secular.
Hiswana?
No, Oh, you're talking about the Swahili, the Hindi word for it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're talking about the second. You're talking
Yeah,
about
the
the second
sacral.
chakra, the sacral
The sacral.
chakra.
I always want to call that another name. So anyway, so your sacral chakra, then you move from that through to your solar plexus. You go to your fire, you go to your furnace. When you go through these ones and then you come up to your heart. You know, people tell you two things about the heart. Either you don't have no heart, oh man, you ain't got no heart. He's saying in so many words, you scared. But in another word, now that we're studying this, he's saying you don't know how to go through your chakras. You don't know how to thank you. Yeah, this is a beautiful one right here.
Yes.
So you're not reflecting the energy that can help you manifest what you're trying to call on at the time that you need it. Okay. So use myself as an example. One of my main problems or one of my main challenges, not problem. I need to do 30 push-ups for saying that. One of my main challenges is doubting myself when I'm approaching negotiating with somebody. Okay? Because, well, I say because, but I don't really know why. I have examined myself and looked back through my life. But I think one of the things that we don't really have experience in negotiating. Little white kids might grow up with business people, their daddy, their granddaddy, their mama, their uncle, and they learn even remotely from those people how to negotiate, how to ask for what you want, or how to tell somebody to give you what you want. So when I used to ask my dad, y'all heard me tell the story before, he'd tell me what you needed for. He carried me through the 3rd degree. But when I sent my sister, he'd give her, I said, go ask daddy for a nickel. She had daddy for a nickel, he'd give her a quarter. She had daddy for a quarter, he'd give her $1. So that's how I got my negotiation. But when you're in negotiation as an adult, there's nobody in the room but you and the person, or you're in the committee, or you and whoever you're dealing with. Then my doubts came because I didn't know how much to ask for. Will I ask for too much? It'll turn them off. Ask for too little, they'll think I don't value myself. What is it I should say?
You're out there without your armor. You're out, without.
I got the armor. I didn't know how to use it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's like what Dr. Mumby was talking about. She was saying that we have it. It's like a cell phone that you just got, and it's learning. You got everything you need, but just learning how to work the devices and the apps and all that little stuff.
So, yeah, that's what she said, and that's true.
Yeah. So it is like going into somewhere, I don't want to say blind, but not with the skills, like you said, just
knowing.
Yeah, the knowing.
Yeah, if I can interject, it's like in the meeting we were talking about this little tool right here. And mainly we just know how to turn it on and call somebody or text somebody, but it does so much more to connect and empower and to take us. It has information. It's the connection to information. It's the connection to getting pulling our money out of things. It's our connection to learning stuff. It's our connection. And most of it, we don't know how to use it. We don't even know it's there.
That's a perfect example.
Yeah, you have somebody like Danielle who says, oh, just go here. And then and then when she finished, you don't know what the heck she did, But yeah, that's the same
thing.
Yeah.
Perfect example.
Yeah. Or my daughter who works for Apple, and helps with the devices and stuff. So yeah.
It's like a total switchboard and you're trying to figure out which to plug in.
Yeah.
And that's
how to come in here and do whatever. And I say, you need to show me how to do it. Don't just come do it for me.
Right.
Yeah. So these little white children are being shown and they don't even know they're being taught because they're in that environment.
Mhm.
It's like you are a product of where you come from.
Yeah.
Well, okay, that's one half of it, right? And at the same time that we're learning to work these devices to build our lives and whatever we're trying to do, we also have to be always aware that that device internally cannot be neglected.
Yeah.
Yeah, we cannot totally rely on external.
Yeah.
It should be the internal thing that's guiding you towards using the external. Like
Mhm.
I love walking, but I don't want to walk to Richmond. I don't want to walk to Detroit. You know, I'd rather use the device of the airplane or the car. I
Yeah.
don't even want to ride on a horse, to get to these places. So these devices have been created um, and have become our quote unquote conveniences. And we have to keep the balance by doing the same thing with our internal devices. That's not up to someone else. That's not up to another group of people. That's up to us. That's up to us to make that decision to learn as much about our internal devices as we are learning about these external devices. I learned how to drive really well by the time I was 14. I kind of drove kind of recklessly when I was like 11 and backed into the smokehouse. Full speed. That taught me a serious lesson, especially when my daddy came running out the house. Anyway, so we move right along up to the solar plexus, which relates to our central nervous system. Self-worth, if you see on the screen here, self-worth, intellectual clarity, optimism, hunger, activity, desire to work together as a team. So if you find yourself, you're not a team player, you might want to check in with your solar plexus chakra. You might want to go sit down and do some meditation to open it up. And in speaking about opening up, there's an exercise that you inhale. Oh, y'all can't see me. Anyway, you don't need to see me. Your solar plexus, everybody, put your two hands right beneath your rib cage, right beneath your heart. And that's your little soft area right there. That's your solar plexus. The place where you feel nervous, what they call, I got butterflies in my stomach.
The center, just right.
Show them, Hawa.
Yeah, just the center, just right here, the Hara.
Yes. Now you see how you have your hands together. I want you to hold your hands from the center of the solar plexus and move outward towards each side, exhaling as you go. Right. Now come back, do it again. Exhale as you go. Inhale, exhale. And not too fast. Do you feel anything happening with you? For me, I get chills on my left side. So what you're doing, you're taking out the things that are the thoughts or the energy that's causing it to be tense or stressed.
I normally just listen to my body and it have me to, like right here, it wants me to just do this.
That's
so I
one
know
of the
I'm
things
stimulating my liver. And it is, by doing this, it is sending vibration, frequency, it's sending sensation, and it's like you're tapping in. When you tap in, then it's telling you.
Okay, so we want to clear that area. That's one way of clearing it, is to take your hands out towards each side. Yeah. Another way of moving the energy in your circular direction, or in this case, circulinear, because your hands are going in a circle, but the energy is going up and down your spine, so to speak.
What you want me to do?
No, that's it. I just want you to go out to show people how they can open it up. When you take your hands in the middle and then you move it out towards the left and the right, you exhale when you're moving it out. Yeah, like that. Aduna, can you get the camera on your person? Yeah, like that. Yeah, like, and sometimes we'll do that when we yawn. We go, oh. So you're bringing it, opening it up. Okay, at ease. And that energy now is jumping or moving
Do your
towards
work. Always do your.
I can't hear you. We lost you, Hawa. So then that energy is moving towards your anahata. And you notice anahata also has the sound of hot in it. So you can't forget the name of that chakra. Because I won't have so much trouble with that as I have with the sacral. So you have your anahata or your heart chakra, the color green, which I have on today. And love, compassion, how will you take it? Because I want to share some of my love after you talk about it.
The heart chakra, people say, put your hand over your heart. And they always want to put your hand over here on the left side, but the heart tilts towards the center. So you can do the same thing. You can put your hand over your heart, even though the heart is encased in the ribs, it's still with breath. You're working from the outside and your breath is working from the inside out. So with your breath, you take a breath in, it's pushing it out. You exhale and you're pushing it in. It's like give yourself some love with your breaths. Another good one is thumping this area. The body is real resilient. Don't be afraid to use it. I'm telling you, just like when someone cold and they have those two round discs and they put over you and boom, the heart, you can do that yourself. You feel some funny things, you feel it don't necessarily mean anything too serious, but the heart needs stimulating. Just like we do this and other things, the heart, when you tap on this area, you're releasing congestion, you're releasing stagnation. And I'm gonna show you, it's my book. Oh, go ahead, Queen.
Who are you talking to, me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
No, you was just going through and I was just being your headaroo today.
That's what you got to be, child. Be my head-roo. I got too much hair-roo.
Yeah, yeah. And then again, that's the green. You don't, if what you can utilize your colors to your advantage.
How many points? Show that again. How many points are on that one? You know, I like to talk about numbers.
11? Wait a minute, where is it? Oh, hold on.
Oh, didn't they have the 12?
Is that the 12 on there?
6 on each side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, it's 12.
And what is the number 12? Do y'all know symbolically in the card in the tarot, the number 12?
You said the 12, 1 plus 2 equal 3?
Yes, that's it. When you break it down to the 3, has to do with Sebek and Legba, or the challenges. 3 is a challenge. You born with the number 3, you coming here with for some challenges. But the thing about it is 12 as a number itself is sacrifice. You could say self-sacrifice.
Yes,
but life experiences will bring you to challenges where you have to sacrifice yourself. Sacrifice is the number 12, the hangman. And if you notice in the picture of the hangman, he's hanging upside down. His head is towards the ground. It's also telling you to be grounded. Grounded in what? They don't know that. What I'm telling you, them tarot people don't know this. But to tell you to ground yourself in what? The earth. I always like to use a quote from the Bible: the earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof, the world, and they that dwell therein. We're not talking about the ball. You're talking about this earth. This earth.
Now Willie has her hand up.
Oh, peace now, Willie.
Great day, everyone. Wow, such beautiful wisdom and knowledge we share with each other. I'm so grateful. And what came to me when you were talking about um, the the heart, of course, all these scientists and supposed to be people of wisdom in the other world are saying, "Wow, guess what? The heart is really the brain.
Hello.
It's really the brain." And it's so funny because they put words on it like the little brain. And I just look at that, of course, like we get to look at words and go, no, that's the real brain. That is the real brain. And when the heart and the mind, those chakras from the heart up become in alignment, you realize and know truly how powerful you really, 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 really are. And and then there was one other thing I was going to say. I think it's about um I loved how you said when figure out, because I've just been noticing how many times I hear other people say figure out lately, and when you said figure in, that just resonated so much with me because that's where the work is indeed being done. It's nothing outside of ourselves anyway. When we're doing all of this wonderful chakra work and attuning to what the gift is of giving ourselves permission to know, sense, and feel it, we get where the work is truly, truly done each and every day. And
Everything.
that breath and I was going to say the tapping is it's so valuable. um I know months ago there was a brother I tapped into here in Detroit who does and I introduced Queen Aduni to him. He does the
Energy
sound
tapping.
with no, well, he does a program on Sunday where it's only about a half an hour. He does some pranayamic breathing, then he does on his what's that drum called, um
The
Queen?
steel drum, the steel
Is
drum.
is it a steel drum? It's like just like a shell though, but he has it looks and it sounds like a steel drum.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and he does sound healing, and he reminded me of that I think it's EFT, he calls it emotional freedom tapping. And what I was saying as I was doing that, and you guys we were talking about it, is how tapping brings freedom. It
And
brings
release.
freedom from the inside and
Yeah.
release. And it's so there's a tapping I do kind of from head to toe every morning, but it's very basic. That it was like 9 points that he reintroduced me to. So maybe I'll try to remember it by the end of the show.
Yeah, so we can do it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. There's
Yeah.
a tapping that you can do. You hold your arm out from your center. You, with your hand open, you tap all the way down the arm. Your arm is open, so you're tapping down the inside, and you thumping up, back up, tap down, and thump up. And when you do that a couple times and you stop, you feel yourself vibrate, and it's opening up and it's releasing. The whole point is to release what is being held there. And remember, whatever you do on one side, you have to do tap. You have to do on the other side as a balance. Yeah, now really, if you can find that, hey,
Bring it
yeah,
on, sister.
yeah, there. Queen of Duty, yeah, because it's one. It's one. It is Queen. Is this the?
That you mean the movement you're doing?
Oh, is that Tai Chi? Is this Tai Chi?
That's a qigong move.
Oh, Qigong. That's it.
Yeah.
Qigong.
And you bring. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you can explain. I was basically, Qigong.
It's a move to help your kidneys.
Yeah, it
Your
helps.
hand in the back is touching your kidneys.
I did this before I had my surgery last year. I did a bunch of chakra work before my surgery, and it also for the liver. I was working. This is what I was having worked on. So it's tapping it, And they go fast, then they go real slow, you know, tap and tap. And we did it all the way up. That's why Queen Aduni remind me, we did it all the way up, and then we bring it back down. And the one that's just swinging, you're just swinging your arms, and the hitch, like Queen said, your kidneys in the back, and it help unblock, release, align, and balance.
Yeah, this helps you to really appreciate the fact that you are not your body. So you continually treating your body for what it is. It's a tool, keep you here on this planet for as long as possible so you can do the work that you came here to do and maybe some additional work.
So it's like the car that you have to take care of. You have to change the oil and all of that. And devastation is when the engine blows.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's major surgery or replacement or throw the car away. Death.
That's a nice way to say it.
Hey,
Throw
hey,
that,
you,
throw
hey,
that
you
dead
throw,
body
you
on
throw
it.
that
Throw
car
it
away. You throw that car away. It's
Throw
over.
the
It's
car
done.
away.
Yeah, put it in the graveyard, in the car
It's
graveyard. Yeah.
Y'all are a trip.
And then only a master can take that car that's in the junk and reconfigure and bring it back alive. Only God can do that. So
That's that-
compared to like the
that's-
car, you know,
this is what
only
Queen
a
was talking about.
master, yeah, only a
Yeah.
master can go and know where everything is supposed to be and put it back together, and then it come back anew.
Within that reference that you're just speaking, Queen just said that with a sar and a sat. How the woman that's what a connection. How a woman put it all back together again.
Yeah.
So
That's why, is that why, Mama, you said that, what was that? That she had to do like a master work. She had to go and pull it
find
all
his
back.
parts.
That you said it took all of her chakras to do that work.
oh yeah.
Yeah, she had to be walking in divineness to put that together, to think
Come
of
on.
something that's not even normal or usual.
Yeah.
They use it all to come
Yeah.
up with what's going to make that work.
Oh yeah, that's good.
In order for it to work, all the chakras got to be in alignment like a gear.
Yeah.
One gear stops, it throws a wrench in the other gears or chakra working at their capacity. So it's like, yeah, you focus on one chakra because you feel like it's out of balance, but to treat and work on all the chakras.
Yeah, when we say work on, that's some of the work you have to do is to put that picture of those chakras up where you can see it every day. And then when you have any of these symptoms that relate to any of those chakras, you know where you have to focus your attention. Just focus your attention in that area. You don't have to go, yeah, right, thank you.
Yeah.
You don't have to say, okay, let me go to my solar plexus, let me go to my anahata. You just focus your inner attention on those areas and rejuvenate yourself. Drink a glass of water with it or a cup of tea. Stimulate it.
Do your breath work. And sometimes you don't need a big instructions on how to breathe. Just breathe. Just play around with your breath. It's different breath exercises from a simple. It's still working for you. You know, it's not like 2 breath in, 3 out, 9. No, go with what your body is telling you, but go with it with a little force. You're putting the life force energy back into the self, the person.
Intention.
Yes,
Intention.
go with your intentions. Yeah.
That brings me to mind. The other day we did the turning around, and I was saying that children always do that. They like to turn and spin and spin and spin. Guess what else children play with? Their breath.
Yes.
They want to see who can hold the breath the longest.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? We all did it.
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And to tell you the truth, children, when they breathe from the whole capacity. They breathe where that diaphragm is pushing down on the organs to stimulate the organ, then to bring it back up. And it's push it down and they bring it back up. But as we age, we start breathing from up here.
Well, I don't know about aging, but as we continue to assimilate into society where
As
people
we
don't
continue
live
to grow,
scientifically, we
yes,
unconsciously find ourselves breathing from the
from
chest.
shallow from up
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Mama
you watch
Hawa,
a baby, huh?
Yes.
I'd like to get a picture of that, a copy of that, where's it? I speak, I do, what you put up.
Okay. Well, I
Yeah,
put it together.
sometimes-
I just made it up. I didn't make it up, but I put it together.
Yeah, I'd like to get a picture of that.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'll send it to you.
Me too.
Yes.
Me too.
No
Me
problem.
too.
No problem. But this is my reminder.
Yeah,
Starting at the root, I am.
yeah.
And that's our survival. That's who we are. I feel. What am I feeling? Why am I feeling like this? I know I better zap into this chakra here, because this one here can throw everything else out of balance.
Mhm.
Then solar plex is I do. It's the fight and flight. How you feeling at that moment? Any digestive, anything on that line hits you right in the solar plex. You got a stomach ache today. And you know you're eating everything that you're supposed to be. Well, you think you're eating well and properly, but maybe you need more yellow foods, more squash, bananas, same thing with the heart. You've done everything you possibly can do to get this heart to love, and it's still not working. Well, gee, maybe I need to put some more green stuff around me, and pink, they say, and I look at and red for the heart. We'll be going into the fifth chakra, and the fifth chakra is I speak. That's the Tahuti that Queen was talking about. Your words, your communication. You're saying a lot of bad words. Just say it like this. I have my little moments that I curse. And then if it gets to be too much, then I'm like, wait a minute, I think I'm a little out of balance here.
Yeah.
And so this is what I work on. My what was me in my grief moment, my heart. And it's okay to grieve for a second or so. But then again, you can't live in it. You can't hold it. So it's time to do the work. Own up. We're going to get to I see. And this is seeing not even with these eyes, is seeing with this. And to see is to know. And that's that's what we're trying to get you.
Yeah,
That's a Heru the blind and Heru the seer.
Which
Heru the
word?
blind is run through with his emotions, and Heru the seer is using his wisdom, which is the Tehuti faculty.
yeah. You know what I just thinking, seeing the wisdom of God and the simplicity and how simple spirit we are made, because when you go to like, let's say like McDonald's or something, and when they break it out into colors to make it simpler for us to remember, to remember, I would say to learn, but and then remember. So like, this is for the burgers, and this color is for that. And this color is the green, and the green is for these type of things when you go to the store, and they break it out so that anybody can run the cash register. Or they put things
color coded.
Yeah, they color coded, and that's what the chakras are. They're color coded so that to help us to remember that simply Because you just said you need a certain thing, look at the color of it and put that around you.
Or even
Or
if you
even
notice,
the food,
right,
down to
right,
the food.
right,
Get
right.
that color food.
Certain foods you may start craving. And it's like, I want an orange. I want some pumpkin. Oh, I want, and it's like,
Why?
how is my sacral chakra?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Mama Het was saying something as well.
Greetings. Greetings, everybody. I was asking what was the verb for the heart chakra. I missed that one.
What's the
verb.
what?
I love. What's the verb? What's the phrase?
Oh, I love.
Okay. Thank you.
I love.
Ladies, when I hear that 3-letter word, we're gonna do glute squeezes. And when I hear that word,
Okay.
I know you don't want me to tell you the history of the word ladies, do you?
ladies,
Ooh.
You don't want me to tell you the history of
I
that
had
word.
my lesson. Go ahead. Break it down.
Well, you know, back in the day when them old, wretched, nasty thinking captains of the ships had been out on the water for a long time and they wanted to stimulate their sacral chakra, they would call the little boys into their cabins.
And what were they called?
Laddies.
Laddies.
Oh.
well, greetings, mamas.
Like, no, I'm not a lady. Laddie.
Oh no.
I love y'all. Y'all are just, man, the goodness. I wish I lived in Detroit. I better be careful. I'm gonna find myself moving to Detroit. I already see it. Anyway, too bad Detroit ain't in the Cape Caribbean. I would surely be there. Yeah.
We are Caribbean, all our own.
All our own. We use the word love.
Mm-hmm.
I have some things to share with y'all about love. Y'all gonna love it.
Yeah.
Especially where's what's her name? She asked about how to contact Brother Hassan of the Last Poets.
Oh,
Juanita.
Yeah,
I got a poem from him that he gave me years ago. And the name of the poem is Love. But anyway, that's coming up. Music. I'm just going to jump in here for a hot second with music as a segue to the music that we're going to be using for our short meditation. Music also stimulates your chakra centers. And when you think of those colors, it's a little exercise I wanted to ask you to just share with you. Think of the music. When you think of red, what kind of music you think of? You think of green, what kind of music do you think of? When you think of purple or lavender, what kind of music do you think of?
Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, you know.
Jimi Hendrix, all of them. Hook them all up.
Prince.
Girl. Huh?
Yeah, Prince for purple.
Yeah.
Prince for purple. There you go. What's
I put
Aretha
Stevie
Franklin?
Wonder with green.
Yeah. What's Aretha?
Aretha is like, oh, she's all the blue, the fifth chakra, the throat. I give you.
When I think of Aretha, I think of red.
Yes, that was my next one. Yes, because she's fire in her words. Yes.
What about Ray Charles?
Woo!
Now I put him in the blue.
Yeah. Me too. Yes.
Indigo and blue.
Yeah.
And you know what? I put him to IC. Seeing some stuff that we don't see.
Yeah.
So now we have looked at other people. Your exercise this week is look at yourself. What color are you?
And the colors can change with mood, and the colors can change. Because sometimes when I do meditation, it's like a yellow will just come in and stay with me. Then all of a sudden it'll start fading off to green. And
but what foundation is it working off of?
What's the yellow?
I see. Oh, you have to know your own self.
Oh, what is working off? Oh, well, you know what? Since I'm into the chakra, it goes straight to the solar plex, to the stomach, and then it merge on into the heart. You know, then it may go on up here to the clear, to the white.
For example, myself, when I was a little girl, my dad and him used to always say I was hot-headed. Then I found out through the Yoruba system that my father was Shango, which is pure tea fire. So even though I might experience all those other colors, I think I'm working off of the root chakra. I think I'm a hot person.
You are.
I might be cool sometimes. I got that purple radiating when wisdom jumps out and I go into this trance state. But my foundational color, I think, is red. So that means I got to add blue. My granddad used to call me little blue hen. I look back on all this, and the hints are always, the ancestors are always being there, bringing stuff to you.
And the blue is the water to balance that fire.
And see, my granddaddy called me little blue hen. He called my sister little red hen. And my sister was very laid back and kind of shy. And I don't know, I wish Papa was alive so I could ask him, why did you do that? So he was already planting in my mind, I needed more blue. I need more cooling down. And my sister, she needed more fire. She needed more stimulation. So let's think about that also, and learn some more things about whom? About yourself.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, there's so much I want to say. I want to share with you. Oh my God, these 2 hours sometimes seem short. What time is it?
9:04.
Oh yeah, we got to get to moving on. Got to move on because there's some music I would like to share with you all, and we do a short meditation to this music, and then I'm going to go into the love thing, Love Jones thing. This is brother. Can you see him? This brother Hassan, when he was younger. And the child, we went to a meeting with the last poets, and that brother walked in the room. I can still feel my heart just jumping in my throat. And I was married at the time. And I said, oh my God, I got married too soon. Lord have mercy. That man, he was slim and trim. After I hadn't seen him in many years, and we saw each other again, he said, I don't look like that no more, Sister Ayaba. That man right there. Anyway, he wrote a poem about love, so we'll do that too. I'm just debating whether I should do it while we're meditating or wait till afterwards. What y'all say?
While.
Okay, good, because we don't have a lot of time anyway, and I want to do it. Okay, so sister, when you put on the song is, I think it's called Praise Song.
I shall.
Thank you. Now everybody take your meditating pose, whether you laying on the floor of the bed or sitting in a chair or whatever you do, just get as relaxed as you can. And let's go with the praise song. I'm not gonna, I guess I won't do it because there's some words in the song I want you to listen to. I'm done.
It's because I think the world of you, that I want to sing your praises. I feel privileged to know you. I just want to tell the world about you. Some folks think they can live without you, but I just want to tell the world just what you done
Follow.
Save me from the fiery furnace. You save me from the lion's den.
Follow your breath.
You were there when there was no friend. Said you'd be with me to the end. I'm the same today, yesterday and tomorrow. You said to me, and I just want to tell the world how you set me free.
Love by Umar bin Hassan. Loving kisses and loving sighs. To have love's pleasure bring tears to my eyes. Love at first sight is so very rare. Love may come late, but it always comes fair. Tears that humble, tears that smile, tears that comfort and then beguile. Where are the drugs? Where is the sex? Where is the pleasure when there's nothing next? Some love to love, some love to hate. Some find love, but then it's too late. Games and lies where love should be. Someone does it to you and then you do it to me. Perversions and distortions inside your head. When illusion dictates love is dead. Love is not paranoia. Love is not insecure. When a man becomes a friend, it's when a woman becomes sure. Love is the touch of a woman's hand. The respect of that touch is what makes a man. The thought of love on its way to you. The anticipation of what to do. The funny little feeling that comes inside. Emotions run wild, but then they try to hide. Is he coming or is he not? Affection needs tenderness, and they both need a lot. Why is it so hard to be at ease? Why can't I be humble and just try to please? Selfish desires that lead into doubt. Sacrifice brings joy, but love brings you out. Soft morning clouds rush to cover the moon, like an orgasm with a future that comes too soon. So when the thought of quitting begins to loose your mind, put love before pain and leave the sorrow behind. One night I was truly seeking, I was standing inside the rain. As love passed by, it whispered, time to leave the pain. I'm here whenever you need me. I am the beckoning call. I can be your rise to glory or the madness before the fall. I cried out, love, what do you want from me? You gotta tell me now. Love just smiled and answered, but I also tell you how. I find that love again, the love you needed most, the only friend you had when everyone else was playing ghost. Two star-crossed lovers caught up in that infamous strain. Love becomes a struggle that tries to keep them sane. In the glorious midst of nature, they try to reaching out one night. She learns how to kiss the darkness. He learns how to set his sight. Love becomes the morning that shines so radiant and bright. It becomes the hope and promise that once was a lonely night. Where is that true beginning? Where has it all gone? Why has love become a memory that just sadly lingers on? Hard laughter, disguising softer fears. Love becomes entangled as deception cheers. Love that moment you can't understand. It's when love is asking for a helping hand. Intelligence is vital love, takes reason. Passion without wisdom is romantic treason. Love is the rain that greens the leaves. It's the part of death that never grieves. The love of money can become the love of greed. The love of denial can become the love of need. Love is a woman so deep in thought, a moment so precious it can't be bought. That first kiss will always remain the same, if not in principle, at least in name. Love is exciting, love is bold, love grows gracefully but never grows old. Love is being alone but never lonely. It's yours truly, and yours only. It's when you think you should, but you know you won't. It's when they think you're convinced, but then you don't. Love plus patience can become understanding. When love becomes promiscuous, it becomes too demanding. Waiting on love can become the love of time. Being impatient with love can lead to serious crime. Love is to be considered. Love is to be kind. It's a wise old gesture from a childish mind. To never take advantage, to never abuse, to never mistrust, to never accuse. Love is to be honored. Love is to be shared. Love is to be tried, but never dared. Love is to desire. Love is to yearn, to be able to give and ask nothing in return. And then to be able to speak words so true. I love you. And I love you too.
I love you.
And I love you too.
And I love you.
And I love you too.
I love all of you.
I love you. I love you. I love you too.
I love you. I love you. I love you. And that's
And
what you say to your heart. Tell your heart, I love you. I
I
love
love
you.
I love
I
you.
I
love
I
you.
love you.
love you. And that's what we don't do enough, is to
Huh?
give ourselves some love. We give that love away.
All
But
right,
how
what is
can
the positive? What is the positive expression of the same thing you just said?
what is the positive?
I
You
will
just said
love
we
myself
don't.
more.
Oh yeah, I
I
will love
love
myself.
myself. I
I
am
love
loving.
myself.
I
Mhm.
am loving myself more.
I am in love with myself.
Mama
All the
Ayaba, you know what really struck me and it really hit deep was when you said love is the part of death that never grieves.
never
Oh
hit me
my
too,
God,
sister.
that was
That was
profound.
yeah. That never
Because
grieves.
like after my mom passed, it was such a confusing state because I felt like I was supposed to cry and I would only shed maybe one or two tears and then I would start laughing because my mother would send like a message that would just make me laugh, a memory. And so I was kind of mad at myself because I couldn't cry. I said, but who told you you were supposed to? You know?
That's right.
And so I must have been in that area where it says, love is the part of death that never grieves. I'm going to write that down somewhere. I love that.
Because I
The
think if you're a good daughter, and I was a great daughter to my mom and my dad, I took care of everything.
Mm-hmm.
There were very few tears shed because I had done what I was supposed to do.
There you go.
You know,
I have to agree with you, with both of you. Heteru, when my mother passed and I was by her side, I am of my siblings the crier, the one that gets emotional, the one that gets so worked up because we feel we have that, we're really sensitive people. But during my mom's time, same thing. A tear was, or I would swell up and I thought something was wrong because I wouldn't cry or I couldn't cry or I was in a certain stage of peace, walking that transition with her. And it was a joy. If any tears, it's tears of joy.
mm-hmm.
well, think about this, friends. The culture. Back to that word culture. The culture teaches or causes us to assimilate in that department, which is sadness and grieving. And in Africa, in certain African cultures, and I think I saw it in a couple of Asian cultures too. They hire grievers.
The criers,
They
right?
hire the criers. They
Yes.
don't cry. They hire the people to cry.
And they would cry.
And they would and moan and just rage and rant and do the whole thing.
Because
Also
they don't just celebrate that one day of your transitioning. They do it like weeks and months. So yeah, they
But
have.
there's a cause behind all of that. That's
Yeah,
what culture gives you, the
that.
cause, and
Yeah.
then you are the effect of the cause. We don't learn those things. Matter of fact, nobody told us to cry. The Bible, as Christians growing up in the Christian church, we were told not to cry. It says celebrate the going out and mourn at the coming in. That's what the book said. I ain't seen no many Christians doing that. Everybody I saw was ranting and raving when you die and laughing and celebrating.
Baby, we
when
party when my mama left here, baby. The preacher told us, he said he ain't never seen no celebrate. I said, and you never will. You never.
That's happened with mine too,
party.
sister. Same response. You haven't and you never will. This is it. We had that Monica play the blues guitar people. I was singing every kind of song my daddy liked. I mean, and the people in the church really enjoyed it. They never, like you said, they never seen it. And then on the cultural side of the African cultural side, the sister invited me. I'm always surprised at stuff like this. I'd be wondering how people see me. But anyway, she invited me to speak about her husband at his funeral. I didn't, and my Uncle June, when his mama passed away, he said, I don't want nobody speaking over my mama but you, because you knew my mama. Them preachers don't know my mama. And I spoke over his mother. And when the preacher got up to preach, the preacher said, I'm putting these papers away, because after Dr. Bay spoke, I might well just go ahead on and try to ride on her energy, because I ain't got nothing to say. See, that training that you get as a child in the African cultural system, the Native American cultural system, is that life continues. There's no stopping. And people say death is where you pause, but there's no pause according to my mom. She came back to me in a vision and said she never worked so hard in her life. And so if you're working that hard, it's because you didn't do the work on this side. Nothing stops. Everything just keeps going. So what we're doing here with the Elizabeths, whether you know it or not, we're working on this side.
Yeah.
And we're sharing our knowledge. Everybody in this family is sharing their knowledge, each one with the other. And we grow. We're like plants being watered by the love and the knowledge that each and every one of us have. I mean, I can't stop talking about y'all. Us, excuse me. So that energy that you learn when I came into the Yoruba culture studying, it was right before my mom passed away. So I was so glad, because now I had work to do. It wasn't the sitting around moaning or people coming to your house making you feel sad and all that stuff. First of all, when I'm in a position like that, do not hug me. Do not pat me on the shoulder and say, "Oh, baby, everything."
No, don't touch me. Right. Yes.
Because you're gonna stimulate that chakra.
Yes.
That on the negative side of bringing me down. Don't bring me down. I know you think that you're bringing me love, and in your spirit, you are bringing me love, and in your intentions, you're bringing me love. But through the culture, I learned. I see you now, Willie. Through the culture, I learned that I had to set up 9 candles, 9 glasses of water. I was working so hard. 3 plates of food that I had to cook. 3 vases of flowers, and I had to set that shrine up. When people came in the house, they were talking about how beautiful it is and how beautiful and all this kind of stuff. And that was wonderful. So that meant that now we were meeting each other on another level. So that's one of the reasons I embrace culture, because it answers my questions, the why questions, the what questions, and the how questions. Sister, now really, Mama darling, yes.
Okay, so I have a story on the wave of that beautiful expression you just gave. So after my son transitioned, and I was given my son to go back to working with people's hair and their energy. So one of the first clients I got was someone who, a sister, I'd only done her hair maybe 1 or 2 times before. So I had flowers. I had a lot of joyful, like, energy. And I had my son's last pair of shoes, his favorite Nikes, at the door because we took off our shoes. So I kept those shoes there. So she came in and she fell into my arms and she's crying. I'm so sorry for your loss. And, I called the Sapphire. Fire part of me wanted to say, girl, if you don't get off my chest. But what came out was the love chakra. I said, oh, thank you. Thank you. Can we get started on your hair? And she's still slobbing. I mean, she's just like into it. I was like, she only met my son twice. So already I was like, unless you're like empathic and sensitive like us, you don't even get the real deal. So what is all this? So anyway, so she sits in the chair, I'm braiding her hair, and we finished. And I was doing a high ponytail. So at the end, she was like, oh, I want you to put it in a scrunchie. Well, I didn't have any scrunchie. She said, well, no, just use the rubber band. I didn't have any big rubber bands. So she says, well, let me run to the car and get one. Now, mind you, these are in the days where I wasn't taking a deposit. I wasn't so clear about how
Oh
much
no,
I'm
she didn't.
charging per
Oh.
hour. Okay. So here she said, here is the setup. Oh, sister, I'm gonna just run to the car and get a rubber band. So
No.
she goes to the car. And me, I'm just holding the space till she gets back so I can finish and get paid. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes,
Wow.
30 minutes.
Wow.
I look out my window. I didn't see any cars on the street. And so here comes one of my sister friends. She's just walking up the street and she comes upstairs and she's like, what are you doing? I said, well, did you see a car outside? I'm concerned that the sister whose hair I did, that something has happened. And this was around the time there was a
Yeah,
lot of
something happened, all right.
carjackings. Right. There's a lot of carjackings in LA. So I'm thinking in my mind, I make up, here I go in my mind. I was like, so she went to put the key in the door and someone came up behind her and bumped her and made her drive and they drove her to an abandoned area. I mean, I'm gone. I done got this. And so I say to my friend, I said, do you think something occurred? My friend,
Yeah,
that's
something occurred.
my sister from the hood, she takes out a switchblade and says, no problem. I'm going downstairs and I'm gonna walk the block and I'm gonna find her. And I was like, I don't think we need to cut to the point like that. Put away the knife and we're just, knowing it's gonna be okay. So I start calling the sister, let me know you got in okay, what occurred. Never saw this sister again in life. But I mean, what you were talking about, it just brought that story right back, and I was like, yeah, she really
Wow.
did.
Everything has a lesson, and
She
you have to look.
about to show up. She about to show up. Watch it.
Yeah.
Watch. She gonna show up.
Okay.
Bald headed.
But everything has a lesson.
Not from purpose.
Like this.
Bald
What is
headed
the lesson?
disease or something. Something.
Yeah.
But you learned your lesson. What was that lesson behind that? You're thinking all this
Get your
love and
deposit.
she be back and she done booked.
But that's good that she thinking love, because that's what you're supposed to think.
That's
So
right.
I see that look on your face, but I
Yeah.
see that look on your face. But
Yeah.
see, either you're gonna commit to the laws, or you're gonna fake it out. And you can't fake it out because the law is the law. We're in the law of my art right now. And the law of love, that's what it is.
And Mayat is balance. So what is the balance?
Hello.
Justice. Mayat is justice. What is the
but
justice?
what is justice based on, Miss Pointing Finger and shaking your head? What is it?
All I can say is I can love you, but then again, I will have the justice, I will have the peace, I will have the,
That was your
I will have
community
everything that I will have it. I will have it.
That was community service. It's all good.
See? But yeah, you keep being that community service.
Not
you
really.
keep being that.
Unmute yourself, not really.
Unmute yourself, not really.
You said community service. I love that shift. That was a shift into a higher vibration. Or no, or mine used to be like, I remember dating this guy, this is a sidebar, and he was smoking cigarettes. And so I was like, okay, my mom smokes. And he's like, well, give me an ashtray. I said, I'm going to ask you to put out that cigarette because I don't smoke. And, it's not feeling comfortable to me. He goes, well, you said your mother smoked. I said, see that ashtray over there? This is for the sisterhood. It's going to rise up and hit you in the face. This is for the sisterhood. I want you to know this is for the sisterhood. He kept on saying, what do you mean? I was like, Don't go another step further. Just leave it there.
You can handle
It's
it
for
with
the
love.
sisterhood. It's like community. That was loving. That's community service. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm.
Now, really,
Yes, ma'am.
you can probably see it as, for instance, when you loan somebody some money and then you never see them again, then it was probably worth it. So it was probably worth it that you never saw that sister
That's
again.
right.
Oh, for sure. It was. It was. And what is so interesting is, you know how we have this energy. When I talked to Fauna, who y'all know, Fauna,
Uh-huh.
I called her and I shared. And she said, well, I was doing a sister's hair, and at 2 in the morning, she asked to use the bathroom, and I only had an hour to go on her hair. It was the middle of the winter. And after 10, 15 minutes, she didn't come out of the bathroom. She hadn't gotten no deposit. She hadn't gotten paid. She had been working probably all day. She went to the bathroom, the door opened. She looked out of her window. This woman, client, she had gone down the fire escape and the footsteps were in the snow. Okay.
Wow.
In the snow.
Oh, yes. You have to utilize your love in a certain, see, my God. Yes.
Stop trying to categorize it, okay? Stop trying to put it, let it fit where you wanted to fit.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Detroit
20
is coming
squeezes.
out. I'm
20
sorry.
You don't be sorry.
I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna love you.
No, don't be sorry. Sorry is a sorry word.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My friend who does she makes shea butters and stuff, and she used to have in-home parties where, you know, we would you could get a foot massage and a foot bath, a detox, and then you could shop. And I had made a beautiful bracelet, sterling silver with all the blue stones on it. It was really beautiful, and it was on the shelf. Yeah, somebody stole it.
Yeah.
End
A
of the
friend
night
of mine,
on. I said that will bring her no luck.
There you go.
none
There you
whatsoever.
go.
And
Well, I think
then yeah, at the African at the museum, sold the lady a spirit doll. She loved it, blah blah. She went and reversed the payment. I said, oh, that's not gonna be good.
That dog gonna be walking around her house.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
See that
I say
movie?
that if I can am I throw this in there, is that what goes around comes around, and we
There you go. Karma.
but what did you do that it came back on you? What goes around comes around. And so they're innocent, we're good people for the last 10 years. Why is this happening? Not understanding that we have karmas from other previous lives. We don't know. When I think about people who end up in jail, and this is just my summation, possibility, a person gets in jail for nothing. You know, they didn't do anything.
Right.
You don't know what they came here from. What happened in previous lives that they were still maybe doing the end of. And so I'm just saying, we come off like we're so innocent that this happened. How can someone do that? But we don't know what did we do, because if what goes around comes around, if the law of karma is right, then it's right. And then, you know, I know I had a big karma. And when it showed up, I knew what it was. I knew what it was. And then at some point, I said, okay, that's enough. I got it.
Right.
I got it. I'm talking here now. I got it. That's enough. That's enough. And then was released from that, but I had to really see. I knew when the girl said something, I said, oh man. Oh man. And I yeah. So I'm just saying, you know, where we are now, you know, just what and it always comes more powerful than what we gave. You know what I mean? It's gonna hit you harder than what you shelled out. So what I was saying about people going to jail, and then maybe when they got out, I said I'm gonna do a movie about that. When they got out, and then they get freed, there's because they just had a little bit of that residue coming into life. That's my little book. Not
Well,
really.
that's as
Not
valid
really.
as any other book.
What'd you say?
I said that's just as valid as any other book.
Right. Thank you.
I
Mark.
was gonna speak on immediate karma because I think it could come really quick.
Yeah.
And especially depending on where your consciousness is. So when I was in the dorm at UCLA, I thought it was going to be like funny one day a lot of people came to my dorm room, because I had a room by myself. And so they come and they play cards. But since I didn't play cards, I was like the just come and hang out room. And so one of my friends came in and I thought it would be funny, like I'd seen in the movies or something, to pull the chair from under her before she sat down.
No.
Well, in a moment before I did it, you know how you get that voice, the still small voice says, "Don't do it." But I was already in motion pulling the chair, and I was like, dang, I'm getting ready to get it. I mean, I called it. I pulled that chair. She fell on the floor. Everybody in the room laughed, and I was standing there like, I just knew the roof was gonna fall in or something. I'm just standing there because I already knew I had set myself up. This is what happened. So they're laughing. So now I said, well, I better be like them and start laughing too, because otherwise the joke don't really work. So I started laughing, but I'm kind of saying half, but I'm sorry to her. So I'm laughing. I walk across the room. I bump my head into the side of my closet. It splits my eyebrow open and blood gushes out like a fountain. Everybody's screaming and hollering and running out my room. And at that time, when I saw blood, I went crazy. So I'm running up and down the corridor of the dorm on my 8th floor. I'm screaming, blood's everywhere. Here comes a resident assistant. I'm just like, she's like, what happened? I couldn't even open my mouth, and she sees, I mean, I don't know what I hit, but it was just squirting. So they wrap me up on my face. They take me to the med center. And the doctor was like, well, what happened? I was like, I don't want to say. Just fix my eyebrows. So he goes, well, I'm going to have to shave the eyebrow off to put stitches. I was like, no, you can't shave my eyebrow off. No, not that I knew about eyebrows or lashes or nothing, but it's like, I'm not walking around campus with one eyebrow. So he puts the stitches inside the hairs. And the next morning when I went down to breakfast, I mean, the story had went through the dorm, all through the dorms there. People were just coming up like, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they were like, what happened?
Get.
I said, and I said, because I was meditating all the time then, I said, immediate karma.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Immediate. I mean, that lesson was like, I'll never forget it. I never. So yeah, it can happen it doesn't have to be like, it can happen they say karma knows everybody's address. Everybody.
You know,
Oh, that's a good T-shirt.
Okay.
right.
Everybody address.
Knows everybody's address.
Mm-hmm.
Karma, I saw that.
But that's the lesson. I always say, well, what did you get out of it? What was the lesson behind it? Everything,
Well, they now we say karma, but when I was a kid, the elders would say that's what you get.
Yep,
that's what you get.
What goes around comes around.
What goes around come around.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, what I was going to say, the thing about it is, we make choices, and when we're not conscious or aware of the consequences of the choices that we make, and then when the karma guy knocks on the door, then we are wondering why that happened to me or something of that effect. I had a vision. This brother took me into a trance, my first trance. I didn't even know what a trance was. And he took me into a trance. That was long before I knew about culture and stuff. And he I went into this talk, which I thought was a joke when I came back to myself, which I didn't even know I had left myself. And I thought that, well, what in the world was I talking about? So I looked in the encyclopedia to see if any of those words I had said when I was under were real things. All of it was in there, everything, including the name. When he asked me what was my name, and I said, my name is Zena, Zena. And he said, where are you from? And I said, Yemen. He said, who are your people? And I said, Yemenites. And just all that stuff. And when I looked it up and saw all that stuff really did exist, I looked up the meaning of the word Zena, and it means one who teaches women how to be pleasing to men. So I figured I must was
Oh.
Don't say it. Don't, mama.
Right. I was the mama of the whole house. I ran the whole. And I mean, to people who knew me, they would have said, "Oh my God, I didn't win the world." But in my head, the thoughts and things that I knew about my own inner self, I could see that. And so now I teach women how to be just the opposite, to be pleasing to men in another way, spiritually, metaphysically. So that karma thing, that lesson that goes around and comes around. When you learn about your culture, like we were talking about love, and I'm going to go right here, that opened up the door for this, back to Miss Ma'at. Love is a most misunderstood force, emotion. It is giving, seeking nothing in return. That's the part people have a problem with. It has to be so. If it is, as most say, an expression of selflessness, it has nothing to do with sex, although many people use the expression making love for having sex. It is often confused with affection. The distinction is easily seen in the fact that someone can be affectionate with you, yet behave very selfishly towards you, what you all were just sharing, starting with Nawili and the lady. Love then is the emotion or executive force of our oneness with all. Our oneness with all is Osir. Osir represents God's oneness with all. Even the people that we think as our primal enemy, the Bible says, love your enemy as yourself. In the Sarset, or in the Asarian culture, they say you have no enemy because God has no enemies. Who can defeat God? Therefore, God has no enemies. So if you walking in God, then you have no enemies. We're one with all. It might be that your karma showed up earlier than Susie May karma, but we all get it. Just like we all get death, we all get birth. Love then is the emotion of executive force of our oneness with all. It is the emotional side of the experience of oneness. It is the logical deduction from the law of Osir, the first sphere of the tree of life. If I am one with you, then what I give to you, I have given to myself. If I am one with you, then what I give to you, I've given to myself. That's why everybody responded when the stories came about what somebody had done, mistreated a person. Everybody responded in a certain sense of, well, they're going to get down and don't nobody get away. Because we know these things instinctively. So the good I do for you, I have done for myself. Love takes the law of Osir one step further. According to the law of Osir, a person must not interpret the negative actions of another as being against him or her. In Ma'at, we express love towards the transgressor. This might seem hard to do until we remember that our nature is peace. We need to reacquaint ourselves with our nature. How can you prove to yourself that your nature is peace? Look at little children. Look at animals, cats, dogs. There's some people say they'd rather have a dog than have a mate because the dog don't give them no stress. So, excuse me. In Ma'at, we express love towards the transgressor. This might seem, thus we need to experience Oh Lord, I'm missing, skipping. This might seem hard to do until we remember that our nature is peace. When a baby cries, you spank the baby on the leg or tap him on the hand, and the baby cries. The baby don't run from you. Remember, the baby runs where? Runs towards you.
Towards you, yeah.
Towards you, because the essential nature is peace. The baby is coming towards you to get back to the peace. Baby don't have no words like, "Oh, mom, forgive me, I didn't mean to do that." As a matter of fact, those words really get in the way. This might seem to be bad advice, suicidal even, until we recall the knowledge that peace in the face of opposition generates wisdom and spiritual power. So for everybody who wants to have wisdom and spiritual power, how your best way for you to get it, according to this? Anybody want to jump in, double dutch?
Well, I'm thinking that you're gonna have to experience the opposite so that you build that muscle up to walk in that.
What happened to the muscle? You came here with it, the muscle for peace. And which chakra is that, Hawa? Can you bring us to that?
What?
Oh, you in the book.
What chakra is that? The heart chakra?
All right, here we are. Isn't that where we are? And that's why I'm using this to exemplify that this is what we're talking about right now. We're talking about ma'at. We're talking about the heart chakra that generates the love that we're talking about, that helps to bring forth wisdom and spiritual power. Everybody wants the spiritual power. Everybody wants to be able to make things move, make things change. Everybody. How do you do that? By building up the love in you, or by continuing to generate the love in you in the place where you least want to do it.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, Mama, they yeah, we came here with that love, and then it got attacked, abused, rejected. And the more that happens, that's then we have to get, what is that song, Get Back to Love? I have a thing that says the love that you always was. You always
Right.
have love.
The love that you always are, may I interject, because it never goes anywhere. We live in a society of people who practice hate far more than they practice love. They practice revenge far more than they practice caring for another. Even the Bible, these people who say they claim that they're Christian, but they don't read the book. It said, love your enemy like you love yourself. You got to give love to your people that don't treat you well. You know, the transgressor, the one who works against you, you see. And the question you ask yourself, well, how can I do that? But when you were a little baby, before you became assimilated into this society, you didn't ask that question. My daughter asked me one day, why you treat that lady so nice? I said, what lady? The lady that came here ranting and raving at you, and you stand there teaching her, trying to teach her about love and caring and all that stuff. Why you ain't said nothing back to her? I said, I did say something back. She said, no, you talking to her about love. I don't get it. This is my daughter. She's about 9 years old. What would you have done? She said, I would have smacked her down the steps. That's her kind of love.
Yeah.
But the point is, without even knowing it, you know, that's why I asked you to look and see which of these chakras is most prevalent in your life. Which of these chakras or colors is the one that you think you are? Because these will help us to know who and what we are. And although I might have been, and although I was a hothead and I had a hot temper and all of that stuff when I was growing up, they said that we choose our families. So I chose a daddy who continually taught me how to use my love. He never said it. He never said, I'm teaching you how to use your love. He never said, use your love, be nice to people. He never said that. He said things like, I didn't know I was raising the dog in my house. You know, yeah.
You know, thinking about that, I grew up in a home where it was the action of love. It wasn't the word, but I just knew my mother loved me. She didn't put her arms around me and I love you. I didn't get that. I practiced that once I left my mother's home. but I knew she loved me. My grandmother, stern, stiff, but I knew she loved me. Like you said, the child goes towards, after getting a spanking, the child run into your legs and hug you, fall into your lap. I knew they loved me.
That's right. It's a sense that we have, a knowledge that we come here with. So let me see where we are. This might seem to be bad advice, suicidal even, until we recall the knowledge that peace in the face of opposition generates wisdom and spiritual power. I focus on that because we all want it, but the question is, how do you get it? So we can't be saying we're spiritual beings and in a physical experience if we're not, Miss my art over here, Hawa, if we aren't balancing. Ain't that the phrase you told me? My art is always balancing. My art is always in the act of balancing, because you have the two scales. But what are what is it that we're balancing within ourselves? We're balancing this desire or this thought that we have the power to straighten people out. We have the power to straighten ourselves out. Harakuhuti is the energy of enforcing the laws of my art. So a Harakuhuti energy, that's what Hawa carries, and that's what I carry, but now I can pull it out when I want to pull it out. But Harakuhuti is the energy of bringing forth justice. My art is justice. Harakuhuti is the energy you have when somebody tells you, I don't think you want to do that. Or they may say, do you think you really want to do that? And you may have in your quiet mind, say, don't be telling me what to do. See, Harakuhuti is the enforcer of that. Harakuhuti energy is telling you, the negative is telling you to think thoughts like, don't tell me to do it. I know what I'm doing. Like some guy told me the other day, I'm grown. I left him right there. I didn't try to teach him nothing. He was telling me I'm grown. That's his way of saying, I'm shutting down on you. Don't you try to tell me anything. And I obeyed him. See, because that's love too. That's the giving part. I gave him what my art dictated and declared, and I left him with Harakuhuti, because that lesson is gonna come. Can't stop. What is the power generated by peace in the face of opposition? What is the power generated by peace in the face of difficulties? The answer is love. That's the power generated. And we don't often want to go there, even though that's the first impulse you have. Start checking ourselves. Let's start checking ourselves for the rest of the month or the week or our lives, and check out what comes first before you open your mouth and cut a person's head off, which everybody used to say I had a two-edged sword for a tongue. And I did.
Ogun spirit.
Ogun spirit. That's what. That's Harakuhuti. Ogun. That's right. The husband of my art. I mean, the husband of Oya. That's right. She had two husbands, Shango and Ogun. And that's just how I am too. I like them fly guys that smooth and dressed like they just dropped out of heaven. And I like them rough, tough guys that don't take no mess. So you see, so that's all y'all for you. If I could have two husbands.
Yes.
To understand how love is a force, especially one that can help you in the face of somebody who is trying to remove your seed from the planet. Even it is necessary to remove a few other misunderstandings about love. Since we're talking about the heart, these words are food for your heart. And although you don't have the book, some of you do, I think Head Haru might have this book. But this is a book worth getting. I'm here to tell you. You know, it's a little bitty book. It's not very big. It's only
it's powerful though.
148 pages. It's powerful. Someone says that they love you because they feel an ache when you are absent, and they feel good when you are around, especially when you engage them affectionately or sensually. None of these are signs of love. The word has been appropriated by the spiritually immature who are incapable of experiencing the reality of love, the spiritually inexperienced. In the discourse, no, I ain't gonna read that. Replacing this with the understanding that the tree of life represents a hierarchical distribution of the shaping factors of our life. That's what your chakra centers are. It's a hierarchical distribution of energy throughout your system. And the hierarchy starts at the base, at the foundation, with your root chakra, which, like what happened to me when I was little, and the guy, very much like what she did to the girl pulling the chair out, he opened his legs and he was tossing me up and down. I was a little girl, and he tossed me up and down. And the last time I came down, he opened his leg. He tossed me up and down on his lap. And I hit bottom flat on the cement floor, which did what to my trust? Took it away. Broke it.
Yeah.
Right. It took it. Broke my trust. I didn't know that's what was happening. Now I know. Back here now in this part of my life, I know because of studies. So there's a part in the Bible says, I always go back to the Bible because everybody got one. The Bible also says, study to show thyself, meaning you, approved before God. And what does approved before God means? What the word approved got in it? Prove, app. They use app, the application of providence.
Yeah.
Prove is a word that's the first part of providence. The application of providence, the application of heaven, the application of peace. See, whenever two forces come together, the superior one will impose itself and replace the other. To love your enemy then is an act of conquest, not submissive resignation. And that's when I started falling in love with it. When I realized how much power that was. Because, you know, people that's got that red thing, people that's hair root, they like power, you know. But to know that I could be at peace, I didn't know this. I didn't know. I didn't have the words. I only had the feeling. And when that girl walked out of my house and she couldn't be mad at me because I didn't give her nothing to bite, I felt like, wow, you know, I'm a big girl now. So it is criminally irresponsible to tell the spiritually and intellectually and morally immature person to love their enemies. So if I'm talking to you, and I'm talking to the Elizabeths, I'm not talking to people who haven't already started investigating life. I'm not talking to people who don't already see there's a spirituality, there's something else going on inside of us other than our physical self. I'm talking to people who've already done this work. I wouldn't have brought this out in another situation. I'm bringing this out like the sister in the video that you reminded me to look at is bringing to the people who know what she's talking about. So I'm bringing this to people who know what I'm talking about. It's like opening another door inside of your brain. You already didn't open out. You're already in the hallway. You just haven't gone through all the doors, but you know they're there. The problem is not about how one goes about loving one's enemies. The spiritual goal of my art is to become a loving person. You look, what does God look like? God looks like a loving person. God looks like my art. As a matter of fact, it is said in the society that God needs us in order to come into the world. Because if we don't open up and get these chakras working at their optimum level, then how can this, which we call God, express itself for the world to see what it looks like? We know what the devil looks like. We know what evil looks like. We know what negative darkness, meanness looks like. We've been living around all our lives. The things that the people are talking about now, especially white people, are talking about all across the TV and the news and everywhere. Black people already knew that. We grew up with it. We faced it every God day.
Yes.
Every day. You go in the store, they're looking at you like you already stole something. You get on the bus, you can't even laugh out loud. Now we are boisterous. You know, we're always getting tagged. So we already
children,
know.
Instead of mischievous, we're just bad.
We're just bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. We grew up with that. So now the spiritual goal is to become a loving person. Just not loving this or that person. It is to develop in our heart center, the heart center, that is filled with love for all, an emotional expression of the oneness with all manifested in us here. Now, the question was asked, well, what if somebody's raping your mama? What kind of love are you supposed to show them? Suppose somebody rape your wife. A person called me last night, one of my students told me the saddest story that I never wanted to hear. And that was that his little boy had got raped by his cousin a few months ago. And he did not want to tell me, but he had to tell me because he wanted to know what to do. I said, well, first of all, was your first reaction to kill the little boy? He said, yes, it was. And I almost lit into him too. So how do you, Ron Neffamin, when we asked the question, Ron Neffamin got quiet. And then he said, you killed them with love. I said, huh? He said, why are you cutting off that head with the machete? Do it in the spirit of love.
Yeah.
Okay, what time is it? Because I got two people. I got somebody here just falling. Get up and drink a glass of cold water, sister.
Yeah.
Don't, because what you're doing is what we call spirit sleep. Because whatever this is, I'm saying must be very heavy to you.
9:58.
Is how much?
9:58.
2 minutes to touchdown.
Touchdown. You know what, Mama? When they say in the Bible, I've always thought this, that love thy neighbor as you love yourself. Some people, I don't want them loving me like they love themselves.
They don't know how to love themselves.
Yeah,
That's the problem with them.
I don't want that from them. You know, if they shoot that at the person is, you know, okay, we'll take it.
Well, the point is that they don't love themselves.
Yeah, so don't love me like that. Don't love me where you're hurting yourself and you cutting yourself, or you say bad words and you don't feel good about yourself. Don't love me like that. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's what we hear about. Show them what love looks like. And it takes time. It takes years. It's not something that you just wake up one day and you're able to do it. Right. You know, like, I don't like for people to touch my stuff. I don't like for nobody to move my stuff from where I got it. I got it like I need it. So when I come back to it, it's right there. But you love me so much, you think that you're making it neat and comfortable for me so I can be at peace with you. But the real love is not that was their love. Yeah. How they thought the order should be. But the love for me is like, what kind of person is she? Or what kind of person is he? How does he like it?
Yeah.
Because that's where your love comes in. You know, I know it looked like junk to you, but I know what I got to do. And I wanted to be there when I get back. You know, y'all know what I mean?
Yeah. Now we.
Yes, I was thinking of Ricky BB's song, I love myself so much that I can love you so much, and you can love you so much, and you can start loving me.
That's very perfect. That's very my oddish.
Yes.
I love you all. I appreciate the God in you. I appreciate the source of our being, that it magnetized us in this time to bring us together. And I thank you all for giving me the opportunity to serve. And that's all I got to say.
Thank you.
Ashe.
Little affirmation.
How did y'all like your meditation music?
Awesome.
Oh, yes. Go ahead.
Awesome.
What was that? Who was that?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who that.
Who that?
I put it in the chat.
I could tell it was Mama Ayaba. She said one word. I said, because I kept saying, wow, who is that? Do I know the voice? And she said one word. I said, that's Mama Ayaba.
What was the word? Do you remember?
Right. I don't know, but your draw, I heard your draw.
Yeah. You got that certain draw.
Yeah. Just one word said it. I said that it was my verifier.
Yeah. She held the note. When she held a certain note, I knew it was her.
Yeah.
And that's like, oh, Queen doing it.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I knew it was her. I knew it was her, but at the beginning, kind of sounded like Mama Samara.
Oh, yeah.
She put me in the mind of Mama.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, okay. But I knew it was you.
How y'all like that flute player? How y'all like the flute?
Yeah. I
That
want
was
to learn how to
good.
play that. I like that. I like that. I like
Well, that flute player, he came to the studio and recorded it without us. We weren't even there. He
So
recorded
you
it
layered
on
it on top. That's all right. Y'all better
That's
do
beautiful.
it.
So this is Friday.
This is Friday.
All right.
Claudette came in on one of the days and was sharing. She's, powerful sister, and she she has a lot to. She's the one that's going to talk about the yoni.
Yummy.
Yeah, and but she's done a lot. She's done a lot of things for sisters, and so she's going to be here on fire, and Thursday. Unmute yourself, baby.
We're going to have a sister, Sarah Reed. She is one of the vendors at Eastern Market. She does baked goods, and she's going to share her journey of creating that business and continue to create wonderful pineapple vegan cakes and all kind of goodies. Gotta have sweets for the sweeties. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I just wanted to add that Sister Empress said that she had to go to see what the doctors are saying here and help her mom who's in the hospital. So she asked that we please send visualize heal energy to her with me sharing with all of you that she is healed and well and back at her place of stay.
I say.
I say. Well, put into your hearts your affirmation to carry yourself forward. My heart beats to the rhythm of love. Joy is the blood that runs through my veins.
Amen.
I say.
Okay.
That's sweet. That's
Another
very
t-shirt. Another t-shirt.
You gotta have some bottoms for them t-shirts now, because I don't know about
You put
gonna have a load of t-shirts. I said, we need some pants.
I want some panties with a ruffle on the butt like the baby.
Oh, I have to tell you all. Did I say that yesterday? But about my grandbaby, and when she saw, so she was dancing. I went to an event and she was dancing. We were outside and stuff. She was with the little girls. And they were just dancing and stuff. And then all of a sudden, you see, I'm standing there looking at her, right? And she goes like this. All the kids are dancing and stuff, and then she goes.
Oh, doing her belly dance.
I looked at her, and then she goes.
She's doing her belly dance.
4 years old. I said, oh yeah, she's got to go in because
she ready.
That's my baby. Okay. Okay. And I she's adopted, and when you say, when we talk about that who you choose before coming to Earth, sometimes you go through another route to get
to the That's right. True. That's right.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Your path.
I love you all. I love you.
Love you.
So remember, Hug Detroit this weekend, and also remember, let's talk about how we're going to go and support and be blessed and be a blessing to when we go down to where you at? Indianapolis. So that's not far. We can do this.
I receive.
Yes.
Grateful.
Up here. Mama Hector said, do it up here. Hug it up here, right here.
Bring it in.
And hug the world. I love you all.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, y'all.
I'm
See
a
you in
hum.
the morning. I mean, in the early hours.
And
In the
oh yeah, yeah,
oven,
yeah.
in the
See how
early.
you slide that right on in? See
Hmm.
you when
Mama
you
Howard.
grandly rise
Hey,
tomorrow.
Yeah,
Kangaroo,
yeah.
that's okay. I got to do my push-up because I used the word.
Oh yeah, I heard it. Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's
So
you're
I
doing
gotta go
glute.
do my.
You're
I'll do
doing
my.
glute squeezes now. You're doing your glute squeezes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because we can do that
Okay.
in the chair while we even, you know. You say,
Mama
boy,
Hawa,
wait.
can
They'll
you
say, boy, them sisters got some tight asses. Because we did.
put a whole new twist on it?
Oh
Okay.
yeah, baby. Yeah.
Mama
And
Hawa.
Yes, ma'am.
Mama, now Wheelie, you had the magic. You want to talk about that today?
Oh, today's Make It Magic here at the Heidelberg. Come create whatever you're working on, and be in the magic of being a creatress and snack and just be safe and happy and joyful.
And then
That's
get
what it's
up and
about.
hustle and
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We does it all.
What
Yes.
time?
11 on. You know, I'm open. It's
Dang,
not. Yeah,
dang.
it's
Are
That's
you
open.
why I
over
And
said
there
I
on
gotta get
actually,
that.
Campo and Mac? Where are you? Over at the spot?
I'm at the headquarters 3442 McDougal.
Yeah, my husband did the tech over there.
yeah.
Yeah. So, yep, I was there. So I think we're going out to the side today a little, maybe do some intention wrapping. Anything's possible because we flow. Mama Hawa, can you put that affirmation in the chat for me, please?
I will.
And now, Wheeler, when are you coming to DC?
I'll be there the very end of September until
Okay, all right, just let me know.
Oh, I will. You know, I'm gonna be knocking on your door. Mhm. I will find a way. Yes. So, how many folks are going to Indiana? Who's coming or setting our intention?
Well, I've got it in my book.
Okay.
Just for one day. I mean, you know, go down there and just get a transportation. Depending on how many, then you know, we rent a car or a van or something like that.
And how many hours is it?
Oh, it's from 11 to 6. It's like all day.
I mean, how many hours for the drive?
Drive.
Oh, for the drive. To get my way is like 4.5 hours.
Oh,
Like a
okay.
Chicago.
I'm in on the transportation because I was looking at airline tickets.
Oh.
So I'm definitely in on transport.
That
I
sounds
just ain't
good
in
to
on driving.
Caravan, get together and caravan down. Yeah.
Yeah.
When is this?
This is September the 24th. It's on the
she's already booked.
What's the name of the event? What's the name of the event?
African. This is our 5th annual African Yoga Festival.
Now you posted a flyer.
We have a you can go to we have a web page as well, and that's I think the girl put it as African Yoga Fest or Yoga Fest, either one.
I think it said African Yoga Fest.
Okay, good. Yeah. Or my website, Wise Wound Wellness.
Wise Women.
Wise Wound Wellness.
Oh, Wise Womb, WOMB wellness.com. Or org.
It's that's not my website, that's my page. My group page on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, on Facebook. But my website always lead to these different pages because I speak so much. I just put them in my group on Facebook.
Okay, cool.
What is your website?
BlackPearlBotanica.org.
Black Pearl what?
Botanica.
Black Pearl Botanica.org.
But go to
Look at that. I like it.
Hey, you know what? You know what? That was my first logo. I done improved that. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
It's beautiful.
You could tell it's a sister.
Hum.
Look at her hair. I love it.
That was
You made it cut off.
for this year. Like I said, I'm trying to get our logo.
Ah,
Like I created our campaign
Oh yes.
logo.
Oh yes.
So
Yes, honey.
I done grew.
I like both of them. I like both of them.
Yeah.
so will there be T-shirts with your logo, with that logo?
Oh, everything is. No. That's in the working. That's another T-shirt.
Yes.
Hey, Evelyn, we're gonna find some pants to match.
Right.
Take that image
Yeah.
on some pants, get some, the drop crotch, the what is that? Is it the yoga
Like
pants, the drop crotch, and then put that image on there?
pants.
Yes, there you go. You got an outfit.
Or some lapas where Fab you can just
Yes.
wrap it.
Oh,
That'd be
there
so-
you go.
and
There you go. Some lapas. I start
Mhm.
making some because I sell them to support my child that I adopted in Africa that I send to school. And so that's
Understand.
how I make money and it's lapa for Bridget. And yeah, and she's, they go to school according to when they can.
Yes.
Especially we push the females, the girls to go to school because the village get together and they always send the male. So, and this is in Ghana. And so the group that I'm with, we adopt girls, because in the beginning of the group, they would give us, all these young guys. And it's like, well, where's the girls? We want to support, so we push supporting the girls. So even though I think Bridget is 13, but she is on like the 6th grade level because it's according to when they can go to school.
That's something that we as Elizabeth should consider who we want to. We can change it year to year, but who are we want to support? Like in
right.
Maybe,
and we feel once it's balanced, then yes, male, female. But right now, the females are pushed aside to remain in the village to why the guys go off with the intention of getting their education and bringing it back.
Yeah, well, we're going to support the female, the little Elizabeth.
The little Elizabeth. Yeah. I gotta give a shout out. It's School Royal in Tempa, Ghana. Well, I'll be looking forward to seeing everyone.
Yeah.
You're making me go over. I can just clean the house.
Yeah.
But here I'm going overboard, taking cabinets down to paint, and I'm like, why are you doing all this? But
she's gonna turn it into an Airbnb for y'all.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. I'm doing that anyway with my home because I'm working on dual citizenship. I'm working on my home, in the motherland somewhere. I'm still feeling where I want it to be. I have my friend, and I've been to, this is not Africa, but I've been to Belize several times. And I was saying, I'm gonna make it my home in Belize, but I don't think so. So I'm still searching for my home. But in the meantime, I'm making my home inviting, welcoming, like an Airbnb, just in case.
And it's beautiful. It's just beautiful. When you walk in there, you ain't gonna want to leave. It's beautiful.
The other thing that I'm looking at 3 of you with head wraps. That's another thing that, we could have, that we can sell, making those type of things, or providing the material, and then with a little workshop video on there, how to tie that particular thing. There is no limit.
Well, we need to, and that's another session and another show. The reasons for wrapping your hair, not just fashion,
Yeah.
And the different stories, each one has a message.
Yes.
What side you tied on, all that stuff.
Yeah. And for me, I wear mine as part of my working tool of protection, in a sense, because it holds a lot of energy. These are our antennas to receive And it's like, what are you receiving or what you want to receive? And when I take my nature walks, I let it all down because I want all that. But that's a whole another conversation about
Yeah.
why you rap.
That brother Yaki,
Awaken.
yeah, he talked about he broke that hair thing down.
Mhm.
About the hair and the follicle. I was thinking about you, Mama Awa, about, you know, the classes that you're gonna teach to the natural, to that world, natural hair, or whoever wanna, you know, take that class. But it was amazing when he broke it down, and some things that we never even talk about in the structure of hair, and how important that thing that we don't ever talk about, how important it is. Anyway, I'm just saying, we could be, you know, we'll be here for another until noon, and then we'll be waiting on lunch. So I don't know how I'm gonna make it now, Wheelie, with her talking about food and stuff tomorrow, and sweets, and I don't know. I'm gonna have to have some strawberries or some grapes, right? Yeah, sisters, bring some fruit tomorrow, so we won't punish ourselves as she's talking about all this stuff. You can just eat some grape. Yeah.
All right, my sister. See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
I said.
Take care.